Hello guys, welcome back to Lanap. For today's video, we're going to show you or discuss with you Cursor versus Windsurf. Which one is better for you? So if you're interested, let's start the tutorial. So if you're diving into the world of AI enhanced development tools, Cursor and Windsurf are two of the most hyped IDEs right now. Now both are based on VS Code, so if you're coming from that world, you're familiar or you're going to be in familiar territory, but with powerful AI features layered on top. Now, these aren't just simple code editors with a chatbot here bolted on. These tools are trying to reimagine how developers work with code, turning IDEs into collaborative partners rather than static environments here. But even though they seem similar on the surface, there are key differences here in how they work and who they're best for. Now, in this case, let's talk about agent mode here. Now, because this is one of the first big difference here. Now, Cursor recently rolled out this agent mode that can automatically pull in the right files and generate plus run commands without you having to manually tell it what to do. Pretty cool. So here's the kicker here. Windsurf's agent called Cascade has been doing this kind of thing first. Now in Windsurf, this behavior is built in and the default here, which is not something you toggle on. It's how the tool is designed from the ground up. Now, Windsurf's Cascade automatically pulls in relevant code, understands context, run commands, and doesn't require you to specify every file or button. Now, if you're someone who wants to just type what you want and let the AI figure it out, then Windsurf is probably already winning in a few points with you. Now, Cursor, on the other hand, gives you more manual control. You have to choose which files go into context, and while that might feel slower, it gives you more precision if you want to double check everything here. Now, in this case, what about the UI and UX here? Now, this is where the tools really diverge. Now, Windsurf feels more like an Apple product. Clean, minimal, intuitive, everything is where you expect it to be. Now, you want to revert changes, just hover, and in this case, and a slick little revert button will appear here, and want to see more code diff here, or want to see code diff. So, in this case, you want to click to open it in full pane here, no clutter. So, Cursor, though in this case, feels like a power user's toolbox. There are buttons everywhere, all fixes, AI fixes in the editor, in the terminal, and in the context menu. Now you see an error here, there's a fix with AI button right next to it, and while that can feel empowering here, it can also feel a little messy. So in this case, like Microsoft Word with 8 toolbars showing at once. So Cursor seems to assume you're in a kind of dev who wants full control, while Windsurf assumes you want the AI to stay out of your way unless you ask for help. Now, what about their pricing? Now, Windsurf actually starts around like $15 per seat, whereas Cursor is around $20. So on the surface, Windsurf is cheaper here. With that said, Windsurf's pricing is a bit weirder here. So we've got the model flow action credits and other tokens that aren't as straightforward as you like. And Cursor's pricing is more transparent and predictable, especially if you're trying to budget for a team. But in this case, still, for most users, Windsurf wins on price. Now, what about the features here that you may want to expect? Now, in this case, they actually have features that they share together. So first is they have AI code completion. They also have inline code editing with AI, and they have chat-based interfaces to modify or analyze code. They have multi-line editing, so you can update multiple lines in one go, and they have terminal integration. Now you can run commands and debug with AI help, and they have VS Code extension compatibility. So you're not missing out on anything major by choosing one over the other. They're both using top-tier models like Claude 3.5 Sonnet for heavy lifting here, so the quality of the AI output is basically the same. The main difference is how the tools present that power to you. Now, in this case, you may be wondering, where does Windsurf actually shines? Now, Windsurf starts pulling ahead if you like a smoother, less fiddly experience. Now, first is you have real-time dev server updates. Well, when Windsurf writes AI-generated code, it writes it directly to disk. That means you can instantly see changes reflected in your dev server, like live feedback, and Cursor makes you approve the change first before anything gets applied, which adds friction. Now, you also have the full agentic mode, so you don't have to babysit the AI. Just tell it what you want, and it will actually figure out the rest. So which files to include, how to run it, and etc. And also, you have less cluttered interface. Now, you don't get bombarded with buttons. You need to see to see the diffs here. Click to view. Don't need it. You're not overwhelmed with UI elements. Now, also, it's better for beginners and casual developers. Now, if you're not looking to tweak every setting, Windsurf just feels a lot easier here to get into. Now, where does Cursor now dominates? Now, Cursor, though it's loaded with features, if you're someone who likes to tinker and optimize, it's going to be really tempting. First is you have multi-tabbing AI action. When you apply one AI-generated change, Cursor might suggest others that logically follows. Now you can hit tab again and apply them subsequently, and a bit like an AI-powered macro system. And they also have robust context management. So Cursor lets you include documents from Tailwind, specific get commands, web pages, or even run web searches to enhance context for better answers. And you have AI commit messages. Now this is actually kind of underrated. So Cursor can generate commit messages for you. So if you tell it to in your preference here, keep them short, it will actually remember that. And also you have bug finder here. So this is still experimental, but still cool here. So Cursor can scan your working changes, compare them to your main branch, and suggest bugs it thinks you've introduced, along with a confidence score. It's like having an AI QA reviewer. And they also have custom rules and notepads here, so you can create your own AI rules and store reusable notes or documents to be pulled into context. This is a power user goal here. Now, in this case, what is a real world workflow here? So both tools can actually handle full workflows, design to development. And in this case, what is an example here? So in this case, you can export a Figma design, drop the command in Windsurf or Cursor here, and it writes code. Now you can ask the agent to hook up your sign up form to authenticate auth logic here, and it updates the files. So you generate a commit message and push a PR. Now both tools do this well, but Windsurf does it in a fewer clicks, while Cursor gives you more control along the way here. So yeah, so you might be wondering, is it worth it for you? So in this case, choose Windsurf here if you value simplicity and clean UI, and also if you want a lower price and easier onboarding, and also if you prefer a tool that makes most decisions for you and stays out of your way. And also if you're coming from a beginner-friendly tools like Bob. Now choose Cursor here if you're a power user or experienced dev who loves control. And also if you want deep context management, multi-tab AI, and experimental tools like Bug Finder. And also if you don't mind a bit of UI clutter for the sake of extra features. But yeah, at the end of the day, both are fantastic AI IDEs. They're pushing the envelope of what coding feels like for users out there. And in this case, that's about it. So hopefully this video was able to help you like and subscribe to line up. Thank you for watching.